Great. Should now see all. On your screen, you should now see all the sessions and the name of the rooms in which they will take place. And I would now like to ask the session owners to open their microphone and let us know who they are and what we can expect from their sessions. And we will proceed in the order as it's displayed on the screen.
Yeah, hello. Greetings from Trupali Sangvi. I'm a National ICT awardee teacher and also a Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert Master Trainer. Not only this, I will be talking today about syncing OER, that is Open Educational Resources, with sustainable goal for quality education. We'll be learning about how OER and implementing OER will help us in our classroom to improve quality education. And that's the motto of my session today. I'll be also sharing a collection of OER repositories from across the countries, how OER has led to a developmental phase, and still if we go with OER into education, to our classrooms, then probably it will definitely lead us and help us with our sustainable goal number 4. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Green room.
Hi, I'm Julie Erickson. I'm a learning specialist at TIE Technology and Innovation and Education in Rapid City, South Dakota. And with me today is Joan Upel. She is an amazing retired librarian and English teacher that has been working with me on a reaching out IMLS grant to expand OER and technology integration in the school library. And today we're going to look at how we can continue with the expansion, but mainly focusing on remixing and contributing and sharing back OER resources. So you'll get to see everything that we did in the grant, but also have a chance for discussion.
Thank you very much.
Hi, good morning. I'm Jacqueline Ali. I'm from the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority here in the Philippines. I'm going to be discussing in my session my agency's experience in developing an OER material funded by the UNESCO UNIVOC First Global OER Grant, and how we aim to develop a community of practice for the tech box sector. That's it.
Thank you very much. And I think pink room, our session owner, is missing right now. So that session, am I correct? If not, please speak now. I think I'm correct. So this session will not be taking place today. Thank you very much for your introduction. The sessions will start right now, and I will explain how to get to the sessions. If you know how to, you can just choose the room already. If not, I will explain. Please choose the room you want to go to and then look for the button breakout rooms in your Zoom taskbar. Click and afterwards choose your room. In most of the Zoom apps, you have to hover over the number next to the room name you want to go to in order for a join button to show up. And then you click join and you will be teleported to this breakout room. If you cannot find your breakout room, you can wait here for 1 minute and we will support you individually. You can ask your questions over the chat or over your microphone. The same applies for any questions that come later. You can simply come back here to the plenary hall and ask your questions over chat or microphone.
Good morning, good evening, good morning. It must be morning for you, right?
Good morning from India. It's too early in the morning in India. It's currently right now it's 5:35 in the morning. I'm here to talk on OER. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm the speaker for the session on OER of Open Educational Resources. Basically, I'm a national ICT awardee. I've received National Award for Teachers using ICT for Innovation in Education. Not only this, I'm also Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert Master Trainer Fellow. I hope I'm audible. Am I audible to all of you? Yeah, can you please confirm?
Well, I can hear you. There's only 3 of us, right?
Okay, I'll slow down my.
There's only 2 of us.
Okay, I'll be slow with my speed.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So this is all about me and my session today. We'll be talking on OER in sync with quality education. I'll introduce again myself. I'm Trupali Sanghvi. I am a national ICT awardee under our Central Board for Secondary Education from India. I'm also Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert Master Trainer and a Fellow. I have been resource person and trained about 10,000 educators globally in the global pandemics, talking about the efficient tools in education and how these tools are going to help them. Not only this, I have used a lot of tools like Wakelet, Flipgrid, and I'm also a certified educator for the same. Working right now as a computer science educator at Udgam School for Children, Ahmedabad, Gujarat. And basically, I'm from India. So this was all a short profile of myself. I'll be continuing with the session talking about what is OER. Yeah, please say. You're not audible. You have to unmute.
Excuse me, where are you in India?
I'm
Where-
I'm I'm from
Are you
India.
everywhere? But where in India? It's a big.
India, Gujarat. Gujarat is the state where I belong to.
Oh, Punjab, northern India then.
Yeah, Gujarat state.
Punjab.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from where our honorable prime minister belongs.
Right,
That's
okay.
the state. Yeah.
You're from Punjab.
Yes. Oh, that's great. So this is about this is the educational minister last Ramesh Sessions, and we'll be talking about the session. And let me just quickly wrap up with the session outline. We'll be talking about introduction to OER, understanding quality education, how OER is going to help in education, the various resources to quality education, and let's summarize it at the end. So there we go. Open educational resources. So if we just try to find out the definition of open educational resources, I'm sure we're not going to get any particular definition, but yeah, we can definitely say that open educational resources are freely accessible. They're openly licensed instructional materials. It could be a text, it could be media, it could be audio, video in any form. All the digital assets that are useful for teaching, learning, assessing, as well as for research purposes. Now, why should we use OER in comparison to other ICT tool is expanded access to learning can be accessed anywhere at any time. OER are free of cost, and yeah, the best part of OER is open educational resources are generally being contributed by experts to the community. So there are less chances of the authenticity of this particular open educational resources. So yeah, it's the best thing that we should go for it because it can be accessed at anywhere, anytime. We can modify the course material as per our own need. We could narrow down the topic. Like for example, if I have got a lesson on biology and I want to extract that lesson into my own, usage, then that would become very easier for me. Not only this, it helps me to enhance my course material. I'm making a presentation and I'm in need of some images or videos. So I can use that open educational resources so that I don't have any fear of copyright claim. So the next is rapid dissemination of information. Textbooks can be put forward quicker online. Recently, in the pandemic, we have seen that in the classrooms, there was a lot of requirement of textbook PDFs. So that way also OER is going to definitely help us. And the last thing is cost saving for students. When all the readings are online, which will save hundreds of dollars for the students, they need not to invest more on their educational material. And I think when I will talk about our next pointer, that is quality education, it's definitely going to matter over there. Because when we talk about quality education, it matters because the education should be free and accessible. And when we go with open education resources, we are doing much more easier tasks for the students to save on cost. So this is all about OER, which I wanted to share. Now let's talk about the quality education. So when I say quality education, three important parameters which I would like to focus over here is, the first parameter is lifelong learning. That is again equally important in today's era, because we have seen in the pandemic a lot of resources have been used in the pandemic, but which resources to be used for what purpose, that understanding was equally important for all the educators to lead their classrooms. So I think the first parameter is on quality education is lifelong learning. By 2030, ensure that all the learners acquire the knowledge and skills they needed to promote sustainable development. Even the social inclusion, yes, it improves the learning experiences and transforms the learning process. It's imperative to reduce barriers to skill development and technical vocational. When I say this, I would like to quickly talk about the social inclusion. Like, is it like when we are talking about education, it does only matter about grades? No, it does not matter to grades. When we talk about social inclusion, it matters that whatever a teacher or an educator is looking forward into her or his classroom should be full of lifelong learning skills. When I talk about lifelong learning skills, it's all about like 21st century learning design. It's all about like, you know, skilled communication, collaboration, teamwork. These are the qualities which we need to develop into our education system. And the last pointer which I'm going to talk about is gender equity. Yeah, absolutely. In few of the countries, still we can see the ratio of male and female education. It's really not working out with to ensure that it is an equal access to all the resources to us. So I think this affordable and qualitative resources given in OER will definitely help with this thing. So this is what I wanted to say, that we are talking about OER, then how can we not talk about quality education? And let's think both of them together in this session. So I've brought a lot of resources here and I'm going to demonstrate those resources, how it's going to help, where we can utilize those resources. So as we can see here, the first thing what is very important is people don't know about OER and they randomly prefer to go to some tech companies and they prefer to have some tutorials. They pay a lot of amount of money in order to raise the fund for education. But I don't understand, when we already have this OER, then why don't we use it in education? Like we are spreading awareness on OER, institutional policies can be covered. Like, let me just very briefly tell that we can do one thing, like whenever we are in the planning phase of the year, academic year, before starting up the school, we should always include OER into the planning policies. Not only this, the professional development, training educators on OER and copyrights, facilitating access to OER, this is what is required. And if this is done, I think 70% of the problem, or we may say that we may raise the implementation of OER in education. So it is with the school leaders, it is with the planning implementation team that they need to check out and check that how they can spread awareness on OER into their institution, how they can lead the institutional policies so that this OERs are being taken into consideration. And yeah, obviously we need to train teachers on these OER tools. Basically, teachers are not aware that there are such tools. So I think that trainings would definitely, the professional development will definitely help us. Let's quickly check out some resources and repositories I'm going to share with you. If you have any questions so far, I'll be switching over to the repository before I switch over if you have any questions. And if, may I know about your role in the education community? So let me, yeah, have opened the resource there. So yeah, you can also share about your usage of OER so far, and then I could definitely help you with what more could be done with it. So if you have anything to be shared on OER.
The OER here is seen as a way of saving our students costs, cost of textbooks. That's how we see it here in Eastern Connecticut State University. I know there's a lot of Creative Commons options. I use all my students don't buy textbooks,
Okay.
but we use the library resources through AppSco library resources, online databases, and also a lot of websites. And so my students don't use textbooks, but they're not OER in that sense. They're online resources that are free to them because they're members of our community, our library.
Oh, that's
Um,
great.
But I agree with everything you said. I think the slide you had on why OER is good is economic reason was most important for what we do here. Because
Oh.
what happens is that we don't, the hope is, it's not really happening, but the hope is that students won't have to buy textbooks that they are proud to say they don't open.
Okay, that's great.
Unfortunately. So they
Yeah.
don't have to buy textbooks, don't have to rent textbooks, but they raise tuition anyway. So the cost of going to college still increases.
Okay.
even
So
though-
apart from textbook, what are the other resources in OER are you aware of, or maybe it would be helpful to you? Because today I'm going to share a collection of repositories, which
Well,
out of a research, I have just collected everything from all over India, whatever the repositories are
I'd
there.
like to see your resources. I'd like to see what you do. I mean,
So-
if things aren't OER that are readily available, I use a lot of YouTube. Right?
Okay.
It's not
Okay.
OER.
So what
in the sense
what
of
is your
that.
main subject? What's your main subject? What
I
subject?
teach education. I teach international cross-cultural education.
Okay.
And in 2 hours, I'll be talking about intercultural connections among universities.
Okay.
We've had several universities in India that have connected to my university and other universities.
Oh,
And we
that's
have,
good.
now our undergraduates have met and talked to each other, and that's what the focus is.
Okay.
Not resources, people,
Okay.
collection of people.
So this is a short collection of Wakelet. I'd like to share the link in the
Please do. Please do.
yeah, I'll do that. I'll just copy the link and I'll put it in I'll put in that link. Just give me a second. Yeah, in the chat area. So this is a collection which will give you a link to all the, like, for example, I did a little bit of research and we know that OER started with Wikipedia. Project Gutenberg was the Gutenberg was the first one, that Wikipedia, which has 4 million articles. But when I use Wikipedia, at times I find that Wikipedia is the content by the people for the people. So the efficacy of the content, we have to make sure that whether that it's an efficient content, whether the content which is posted on Wikipedia, that is out of that 4 million articles we're using, whether it's going to really help us. After that, it was MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which has come up with an open courseware where people could go for any course and the students could complete their open online courses are available. MOOCs are available in India. That is massive open online courses. Even if I talk about sub-Saharan Africa, there are 4 lakh teachers who have sub-Saharan Africa. I have all the links over here in this Wakelet collection. If you go and scroll it around, the links are over here. So the first thing I'm going to open is how to browse the OER materials. So this is how, if I click on browse OER materials, you can see there are various subject areas. So you can choose on any subject area. You can go for career and technical education. You can go for education, history, as I think history was one of the subject which I heard. So you can just click on history over here. There are around 3023 content over here, and here you go. So you can see that you have the OER content. So now what is like I'm going to also discuss about in the session about this particular symbols which are getting for copyright licenses, that is CC by NC, SA, what does it all mean? Before that, I'll quickly have a look at this. So here you can select this other categories, mathematics. We can go for mathematics. If you are searching for an algebra content, if you're searching for a calculus content, you have a lot of content over here. Even you can sort it by relevance, rating, all these things, or you can sort it by view. So I think this is really going to help to search for oercommons.org, which basically all of us don't know. So it's going to pretty help you with finding out the right content. And even after taking the content from this, as per the copyright, we can see here CC by non-commercial and share alike. You are allowed to use it for educational purpose, and share alike, if I say, yeah, definitely we can share the content with the same copyrights. So this is really very helpful to us. Moving to the next one, there is an open course library home. So this open course library is again similar to what we were watching. So here also there are free to download, edit and use. These are courses and materials which we can download, we can remix, reuse. I would like to talk about this 4 R's: reuse, revise, remix and redistribute. So this is also possible over here with this. You can see your principles of accounting, principles of accounting, survey of anthropology. And for example, if I search here mathematics, so if I just search for math, I'm going to get all this for math. So all these resources are definitely going to help us to improve elementary algebra. So if I search for biology, let's say, I'll just quickly go to featured courses again. Courses and materials. If you have anything to ask on this, you can ask. I'm just biology. Sorry, there's a spelling mistake there. So these are free download, edit and reuse. So I think that's the best thing what any educator wants. That's it. This is microbiology, general biology. You can go for any of the content. So for example, let's go for microbiology.
1 second. Is
Yeah.
this a link, this Wakelet link, did you develop it?
I have put it in the chat area, the Wakelet link.
Yeah, is it your website?
It's a collection which I have created, and I have curated the collection from this particular site, Center Square Foundation. That's the last thing in the Wakelet, if you can see. I've curated the information from centersquarefoundation.org.
No, I'm just wondering, you created this list, include that you developed through Central Square Foundation? Are you connected to Central Square Foundation?
No, I haven't connected to that. While doing the research on the OER repositories to collect it and curate it at one place, I came across Central Square Foundation article, and in that they have given all the links. Not only this, a lot of links were taken from Google also after researching the content. So this is basically a repository collection where we are putting up everything together. May it be an OER from India, may it be an OER from Germany, Sub-Saharan, anywhere. So it's just to curate. This Wakelet collection is to curate at one place everything.
I'm just trying to figure out how I cite this, your Wakelet page.
Okay.
I cited with your name.
You can sign in with Google or Microsoft, any account.
No, I keep a list of citations and references. I just want to know who's the author.
Okay.
You're the author.
Oh. So this is like, for example, this IGNOU is there. IGNOU, I hope you know about IGNOU, Indira Gandhi Open University from India.
Right. I'll take a look at the list. Thank you very much for sharing it.
Yes.
I'll take it. It's really too long to really talk about it. We'd spend 2 hours looking at it.
Yes.
I appreciate you sharing it.
Yeah, this is really going to help you. I'll just give you a brief of what is there in the collection. So basically, OER really offers us for sustainable growth, and this content which I've collected over here, it belongs to NROER. Now, what is this NROER? The collection is National Repository for Open Education Resources from India. It's an initiative by Ministry of Education India. You will find here in the link Swayam. Swayam is the DTH, 32 DTH channels are there, television channels are there basically. And in this television channels, if I just show you over here, it was like me presenting over here, if you can see here. This is me, I was giving a live webinar on this to improve the quality of school education. And I was teaching the teachers how to use this technology tools. So that was being live casted on television on the 32 DTH channels. So this is one of the way the NCERT, that is National Council for Educational Research and Training, CIT and CRT gives programs. So this is also one of the OER programs. You'll find a lot of ICT tool webinars on their YouTube channel, on a National ICT webinar channel, as well as on this particular platform of Swayam. Similarly, I have curated here about ICT at the rate schools. PET, all the physics teachers know about this PET simulations. This is really interesting. Like all the students in the pandemic really loved this simulations. And learning science with PET, I think nothing could be better than this. I'll just show you one glimpse how we can use this FET simulations. I'll just go to, let's say, which subject would we prefer to look at? Physics, chemistry, maths, or bio? There are all the science streams. We can select any of them. So I think we can take physics. And in physics, I'm going to show you a small experiment, how we can show it to the children in our classrooms. So in physics also, you have a lot of categories over here. You have atomic interactions, balloons and statics. So I'll just go this with this one. This is a very small simulation activity where the children will come to know about balloons and static electricity. So there's a video which we can play. I'm just going to show you that.
I don't see it on your screen. You're not sharing that video. You're
Just
sharing something that says PMEVIDYA.
okay, I'll stop share and I'll come back again.
Yeah, come back and share it so I can.
Okay, maybe you have shared the PPT, which I'm so sorry. I'll be this is my screen.
That's better. That's better. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. I can see it now. Thank you.
Okay, so now this is physics. So here you can see show all charges. So this shows all the charges over here. So the child can see. We can reset the balloon. So I'm just resetting the balloon. So this is the balloon. Now show no charges. So now the charges are not seen. I'm just going to bring this balloon here. The balloon is here. Now we'll show all the charges. You can see all this negative charges, positive charges. And if I say show charge differences, it goes like this. So the child will be able to experiment on this particular thing, will be able to see, you can see if I'm taking the balloon here, it will move and show all the charges. And there we go. I'm just putting it here. It goes like this. Remove the wall, add the wall. I can add the charges. I can reset the balloon. So this is how the experiment on balloons and static electricity takes place. So let us move again back to the FET website. If you want to explore something on simulation, research also is there. We can go for research. So a lot of interactive simulations based on subject wise, it is given physics, maths, chemistry. It's like this. See. So can FET sims replace real lab? All the question answers, publications are given over here. This is all OER. It is by University of Colorado, and it's really going to help to make the classes interesting. Let us go to biology. I guess biology is also going to be interactive and interesting for us. So I'll just go to biology. One of the example, let's say, I want to show about the color vision of our eye, human eye. So there is an example of color vision, and that's here. So now you have a plan to launch this activity into your classroom. If you scroll down, you can see which are the topics which are covered. We are covering photons, monochromatic light, rainbows. What are the learning outcomes? We are determining what the color the person sees from a various combinations of RGB. And you have a system requirement, and there you go. These are bending light examples. This is black body spectrum. So, and even tips K-12 activity also. We can even design activity based on the content which you are teaching. So these are your teaching resources. If I scroll down, you'll find a video and everything over here. So yeah, the only thing that we need to do is sign in so that we can view the content. So that's how it works. So this is also very interesting. This is basically experiential learning. It's going to be best for the experiential learning content. The another thing what I have in my Wakelet collection is IGNO, as I was talking about. IGNO has its own YouTube channel. So when I'm talking about this IGNO YouTube channel, so the IGNO YouTube channel, I think it has 1800 videos based on anything what you want to learn. You can see all information, solved assignments, question paper with solutions. These are all the videos, educational videos. The similar I was talking about the NCERT official. This is also a free source of learning. This is NCERT official. Suppose I go here and you can see there are playlists. The playlist talks about accounting. The playlist talks about chapter 10 of lab manual experiment in Hindi. But basically in this platform, you will find Hindi as well as English because it's an Indian OER platform. So you will find Hindi. The another one which I was talking was NROER. So you can explore this Wakelet collection and find out the best one which suits your requirement. probably the teaching commons are given, the online collections are given, MIT courseware is also given. Even this is
Yeah.
what I was talking about, the Sub-Saharan Africa test